entomophily. Entomophily means actually here the it is coming actually the abiotic agents, both the examples we have seen, anemophilous as well as hydrophilous flowers. Now biotic agents, in that one example is entomophily. Entomophilous flowers means the flowers which are pollinated by insects. The insects, when they are pollinating the flowers, then it is known as entomophilous flowers. Okay. Now what are the adaptations? You know, when how or why insects are approaching the flowers? Because they will be coming to collect the nectar. Okay, so the entomophilous flowers actually they will be rich in nectar. And another thing, these type of flowers, they will be having too much attractive colors because they have to attract the pollinating agents. So they are having bright colored flowers. They will be, they are large, then often brightly colored. Flowers produce sweet odor or fragrance. Then they have nectar glands. These all adaptations actually you have to study. And then next characteristic or adaptation is stigma is rough due to the presence of hairy or sticky, okay, due to mucilaginous secretion. Because when the pollen grains actually the insects are carrying, they will be coming to the stigma. So that time the stigma region should be a little bit sticky, so that the pollen grains will be actually getting trapped on that surface of the stigma. Now pollen grains are spiny and surrounded by again yellow sticky substance. That also actually, when pollen grains are also sticky or spiny, it also help to means attach with the insect's body. Okay, some plants actually they are specially adapted. That example is given in your book. Here it is salvia. Salvia actually it is adapted for an entomophilous pollination. It is an insect pollinated flower, but they are actually, its structure help to help for pollination in a unique or particular way. Here you can see the lever mechanism in salvia. Okay, this is the peculiarity of salvia. Salvia actually it is a bisexual flower and protanthus, that means androecium matures first. Now there are two stamens for the flower, and these two stamens actually they are bifurcated and they are having a connective. Okay, now upper branch of the connective bears fertile anther. Fertile means it will be having pollen grains, and while the lower there will be a sterile anther lobe. Okay, that way the structure, there are two types of stamens. Now an insect when enters in the flower, it pushes the lower sterile lobe. As a result, the upper fertile lobe bends down. So when the insect is sitting, if actually if it is a male flower, when it is actually coming to collect the nectar or pollen grains, by the weight of the insect, it pushes down the sterile lobe, and the upper fertile lobe will be actually touching on the back side of the insect. Okay, so that the pollen grains will be deposited on the insect body. The same insect, when it visit another flower with a matured gynoecium. Okay, so the mature gynoecium, naturally it will be ready to receive the pollen grains. When it is sitting on that, the pollen grains are picked up by the receptive stigma. The stigma will be getting the pollen grains. So this mechanism is known as lever mechanism. By the weight of the insect, actually the sterile anther lobe, it will be actually pushing down, and the upper fertile one will be actually touching this insect body, okay, from the upper side, and that way it will be leaving these pollen grains on the surface of this upper surface of the insect. The same insect, when it goes to a flower, the salvia flower where the gynoecium is mature, then when it is sitting on that, this stigma will be actually receiving the pollen grains from this upper surface of the insect. So like a lever mechanism, actually it is functioning, okay. So it is known as lever mechanism. In practical also, actually in spotting, this specimen was there. Now in new syllabus, I don't know whether the example will be there, okay. If it is there, we will actually again discuss about this. Now we will move to the next. So in Entomophilus, actually this unique example, keep in your mind anyway. Ornithophily. Ornithology means study of birds, okay. Ornithophily means actually pollination by birds. Here pollination take place through birds on, so that way the flowers will be adapted. There are large flowers. The flowers will be large, brightly colored, thick. The flower will be thick and fleshy floral parts it will be having. And because when the birds are approaching, it will not get actually that way spoiled. Then corolla is tubular or funnel shaped. Flowers are bright colored to attract these birds, okay. Now there may be fragrance actually it is not necessary because birds are having poor sense of smell. So these flowers not necessary they are actually having good fragrance, it is not necessary, but they are brightly colored. That is same like Entomophilus flower, but here fragrance it is not actually necessary because birds are having poor sense of smell, and they will be having large amount of sugary nectar because for that only the birds are approaching them. Then these birds will be actually drinking this nectar. Then pollen grains will be sticky, so that actually when the birds come to visit the flower, the sticky pollen grains will be actually stuck to the beaks, okay. That way it will be carried. So there is ornithophily, pollination by birds, okay. Now we will see some unique features are given. Actually it is given in a separate box in your textbook, that is chasmogamy and Cleistogamy. Chasmogamy and Cleistogamy. Chasmogamy means the sex organs of the flower, androecium or gynoecium, these parts will be exposed outside. So then it is known as actually a chasmogamous flower. Here the example is actually given. And then Cleistogamy means the flowers will not open at all. See, Cleistogamy means actually never the flowers are opening, okay. It will be the pollination, everything actually it is taking place inside, never the flower open or expose the reproductive organs. Then it is known as Cleistogamy. Example, Commelina, Viola, Oxalis are some example of Cleistogamous flowers, okay. Now in Commelina, two types of flowers are produced, okay. Some are aerial, which are example for actually chasmogamy, and some are underground, which is an example for Cleistogamy, okay. So this particular plant, both this type of flowers are produced, okay. That is chasmogamous as well as Cleistogamous. It is given separate actually in your textbook. Just go through that. It can be show this Commelina. Here Cleistogamous means they are underground. The flowers actually never they are exposed outside, and that type of flower it is over there. Then Chasmogamous means the flower will be actually exposed out, in that actually the reproductive organs will be out, okay. that is chasmogamous. Okay, this way two types are there. And chiropterophily. Chiropterophily means the pollination take place with the help of bats. Okay, bats are actually coming under the family Chiroptera. So pollination by bat, it is actually mentioned as chiropterophily. Bat is a flying mammal. It is a nocturnal animal. It is not a bird, it is a mammal, actually nocturnal mammal. And nocturnal means actually they are night dwellers. During night time they will be actually active, and their movement is also peculiar. By echolocation they are moving. Actually the sound produced from their own actually body, it can be from the larynx, the voice box, or from the nostril. When they the sound actually it will be received by its echo, the sonar radiations that will be received by the bat, and that way they are able to move. So that way peculiarities are there. This echolocation is a method of movement actually by them. Actually they are navigate by this echolocation. Okay. Now here actually we are discussing about their means how they are helping means in pollination. Some plants actually, for example, means Anthocephalus, or it is known as kadamb, the local name. Then Adansonia, the baobab tree. This type of trees actually the pollination take place by bat. Okay, the adaptations are the flowers will be dull colored. They are dull colored with a strong fragrance, but fragrance actually will be strong. The color is not actually attractive. They are dull colored. They secrete abundant nectar. Actually nectar will be produced in large quantity. See, this is kadamb. Okay, kadamb tree. Here you can see means bat, and here also actually example for chiropterophily. Now flowers are, they produce large amount of edible pollen grains. Okay, means the pollen grains will be the quantity, they are produced in much quantity. So bats are approaching them to collect the nectar as well as to means eat these floral parts. So the nectar will be in abundant quantity, as well as the pollen grains will be in abundant quantity. Okay, so the pollination by bat, it is known as chiropterophily. The example also keep in your mind, it can be asked separate also. Okay, one more example is here, that is baobab tree, Adansonia. Here also actually the pollination take place through bat. So all these examples are given in your book, and go through that example and its peculiarity also. Okay, how they are getting pollinated. So we have studied actually in biotic agents, we have studied about entomophily, that is pollination by with the help of insects. Then ornithophily, pollination with the help of birds. And then the third one, chiropterophily, that is pollination by bats. Okay, these are the different type of pollination by biotic agents. Okay, now both the videos, first half it was about abiotic agents, and this second video of pollination, that is about biotic agents. Go through that. Actually topic is very simple, but from these actually the adaptations as well as the example, this all can be asked. So go through, and one test it is already done, so you might have understood. Even though we know the thing, it is difficult to answer some questions, so the concept should be clear. For that actually again that videos also again listen, because again test will be there, and you should understand the concept. Simply don't go through and mug up the things, okay? Then only you will be able to answer any type of question that we are asking. So now pollination it is over by this. Next video of there, the outbreeding devices I will be explaining, okay? So go through this. Any doubt is there, you have to ask, and sure the feedback actually you have to give me, okay? And then only actually you are able to, and or not, I should come to know for that. Thank you children, see you in the next video. Bye.